Okay, so let me share my screen. Okay, you guys can see the screen, right?
Yes.
Okay, good. Okay, so you can see the CloudFront, right? What is CloudFront?
Yeah.
Okay, okay, let us take it from here. Okay, so CloudFront, I'm going to discuss CloudFront. So just we are, as of now, we are discussing only the basic level concepts. Last week we discussed S3 bucket, and today we are going to discuss CloudFront. So a CloudFront is a content delivery network, is a system of distributed servers. I will explain in generic words that deliver web pages, other components, other web content, user-based geographical location. I will explain actually. So everything is like a content. Content is like, a web content. See, when we click on a web page, when we click on any web page, we are expecting some information, right? That is a web content. Or a video, we want to watch a video, that is a web content. That is all content. So to transfer the content or to deliver the content from one location to another location, so we are going to talk about CDN, content delivery network. Content delivery network. So it's geographically in a different locations, right? So if you put a content, whether it is a web page or a static document or a video document or any document or any media in a S3 bucket kind of environment, we put it here on our server in US, but we try to access it from different location across the globe. People still should able to access that one. So if you remember, right, last time we discussed S3 bucket. S3 bucket, whatever we put it on the bucket, S3 bucket is called object. So whatever we store in the object, we should able to access that. So that's why S3 bucket, every S3 bucket has an unique name, and an unique name. So using that URL kind of naming structure, we should able to access the S3 bucket. If you remember, we discussed that, right? Yeah, if any one of you remember that, just give a thumbs up. And I will take it from here. Yeah, without. Okay, all right, that's fine. Yeah, so that is how we access the S3 bucket. S3 bucket have a unique URL. We access the unique URL like any web page, and we access the content. So content delivery network, I'm going to explain you. So what happen if we upload a video or we upload a web content on a server in US? So our server is in US and content is in US. Someone across the globe, maybe from India or Australia, they try to access the same content, right? Same content. So you see that, right? So there will be some delays. The delay is called latency. The delay is called latency. So if the latency is in a few fraction of seconds, we may not see that, but still we can feel it, So that's what, in generic terms, we say that, hey, the web page is taking time to load, or, the content is taking time to load or download or upload, right? This kind of thing. But actually what happened, as long as the delays are, permissible range, that is okay. It doesn't bother anybody. But, latency, if the latency is high, the delays are high, that's not at all efficient way of doing that one, right? So that's why they're going to use this concept called CDN. CDN is a networking concepts. Let us see how we are going to use this CDN concept. So even though you don't understand fully, don't worry about it. We are going to discuss again and again all over this topic. Okay, so now take a look at this diagram, CDN diagram. See, the web server is here, or S3 bucket, or whatever content is here in Europe location. And there are users across the globe, they are trying to access that one. So now think about it. If somebody from distant location, right, they try to access it, obviously it takes time, because that is geographically the source is in a different country, and the people are accessing in a different location. So there will be some delays. But good thing is Amazon, came up with a mechanism which can minimize these delays. There is no guarantee that it will totally eliminate them, but it can minimize those latency or delays in accessing the system resources. Let us see how it happened. Okay. So before we go there, just get familiarized with few concepts. Content delivery network, CDN. Content delivery network, CDN. And second thing is called edge location. I will explain what is edge location. So let's see the definition, but I'm going to explain in a generic terms. So edge location, this is the location where content will be cached. This is separated to an AWS region or AZ. Origin, this is the availability zone. AZ mean availability zone. Origin, this is the origin of all the files that content delivery network will distribute. This can be S3 bucket, an EC2 instance, and elastic load balancer or Route 53. Let us not worry about all of them. As of now, we discuss S3 bucket. Think that whatever content we are trying to access across the globe is placed somewhere else. So we are trying to access it from different location. And distribution, this is the name given to the content delivery network, which consists of collection of edge locations. I'm going to explain what is edge location. So here the main concept is edge location, content delivery network and edge locations. Edge locations are pretty much for the caching the information. So I have a diagram, I will explain. We will discuss again and again. So just to grasp it as much as you can. Okay. See, here it is. For example, the content is somewhere in Europe. Actual content is Europe. And somebody from Australia trying to access that one. So obviously there will be delays. Earlier we discussed, right? Here, delays. To avoid those delays, what they do across the globe and certain points, they establish something called edge location. Edge location. If you remember earlier, we discussed about data centers. Data center are individual warehouse kind of mechanism, right? Where they keep all the servers, etc. So there is a concept called availability zone, high availability zone, AZ. Availability zone mean 1 or 2 data centers which are not physically located next to each other, but they have like a separate power, internet, etc. So whatever happen in one data center, still availability zone still guaranteed that there is another data center is still available. Okay. But there is another concept called region. Region is having 1 or 2 more than, 1 or more than availability zones. So there is a concept called data center, that is a basic level, then availability zone, next level, then the highest level is region. So this concept is different, but edge locations also, there are some points, certain access points, but those are separate from these. They're not part of these, they're separate from there. So what they will do, Amazon strategically, they establish edge locations across the globe. So let's discuss what this edge locations does. See, for example, if you see that server, there is a server in Europe, it has a content. If somebody try to access from Australia, there is a latency, right? To avoid that, what it will do, in between, it will put some edge locations. These edge locations, what they do, they will cache the information. See, for example, sorry guys. So if you access any web info, right? Any web info, or for example, YouTube videos, right? So some of the videos which are popular videos, so those are the same video, but the thing is more and more people will watch it. Initially there are 10 viewers, then 10 million viewers, or maybe 100 million viewers, right? How the same content, same video, people keep watching it. So does it make any sense? Every time when the user try to access a video, the request goes all the way to Europe, from Australia to Europe, and hit that server and get the information. It doesn't make any sense, right? So if one user does it, it might take some time. But whatever information it come to Australia, if somehow the system can store it, like a cache it, in an Australian location, when next audience, when he try to access the same information, the system does not have to pass his request all the way to Europe. because it is already available in Australia. Because you already put a request, got the content, the video content that is already available, cached in Australia. So that's why the edge locations, what it will do, if any user try to access any information, whether it is video information or any information, the edge locations, what they will do, first they will search locally. If the information is available locally, if some Australian guy, somebody from Australia, he try to access information, so the edge location help him to find the information locally. If it is available in Australia, that will be very fast for him. Instead of his request go all the way, hit a server in Europe and get back the information. Right behind the scene how it work. This is all internet connections. If I put some requests, if you put a request, see, it's all pretty much like we call our parents in India. This is all mobile, internet. This is all there is a delays, right? So because of this cache, we can avoid these delays. The content will be stored locally. If it is not available locally, then obviously the request will go to Europe. Then what happened? The first time the request go to Europe, there will be some latency. But once the information is passed, when the information is available in Australia, it will be locally available. The next time onwards, they don't have to hit the international server. Locally, people can get the information locally. So that is again I'm explaining here documents. See, it doesn't make any sense actually. For every request goes all the way to Europe and bring back the data. So it's like it unnecessarily add a lot of traffic congestion, internet traffic congestion, and its latencies. To avoid that, see the diagram. First document is here. Second document, what they will to avoid that, they will set up some edge locations. Edge locations are nothing but cache locations. In the cache, if the information is available, see the request from Australia doesn't have to go all the way to Europe because it is already available here. Okay. So third one, it will explain even better. The first time request, it will go all the way, but get the information and save it in the edge location. Next time onwards, if anybody needs any information, it will search edge location first. If the information is available on the edge location, respective edge location in that particular region or continent or country, then it doesn't have to go. It saves a lot of time. So that is the beauty of this edge location. Edge location, this is the location where content will be cached. This is separated to AWS region or availability zone. You got it? Now it got a clarity of edge location. And origin, as the name explain, right? This is the origin of the content. See, for example, if somebody watches a movie, the movie is stored here in Europe. That is the content origin. What is the origin? Origin is Europe. The European server, it is on the European server. So that is called origin. Third one is distribution. As name says that, right? Distribution is distributing, right? This is the name given to the content delivery network, which consists of collection edge locations. Distribution is nothing but it's a what is a consist of collection of edge locations. Very easy. Edge location. So here let us discuss actually. This brick kind of thing, this is edge location. Edge location is nothing but cache location. And what is the origin? Origin is the green one that is in Europe. That is the origin. Origin, edge location. And what about the rest of them? It's like all the network of these edge locations, that is called distribution. So three components: edge location, origin, and distribution. If you guys give like AWS solution or tech associate or AWS cloud practitioner, sometimes they might ask this question, but they may not go so deep. But at least better to know what is CDN, content delivery network, what is content delivery network, and what is edge location, and what is origin, and what is the distribution. Okay, got an idea? Content, anything is content. A file is a content, music is a content, and whatever you want to access over the internet, that is a content. But what really matters is where the content is. If the we do not have to know all those details, but sorry, behind the scene, that's what happened. The content is delivered, originated. It is originated out of Europe, so it is somewhere else. But somebody else across the globe try to access it, right? So it will go all the way. So these are the three terms very important. Okay, edge location, origin, and distribution. Okay, content delivery network. Are we good? Are we clear? Just if you're okay, give me a thumbs up. Okay, then I will proceed further. Good. Sriharsha, are you good?
Yes, yes.
Good, 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 good. Yeah. Okay, okay, okay. See, Amazon CloudFront can be used to deliver your entire website, including a dynamic, static, streaming, and interactive content using a global network of edge locations. Requests for your content are automatically routed to the nearest edge location. So content is delivered within the best possible performance. I told you, right? So it's always look for the nearest location, edge location. If it is available, it will be delivered automatic. It is already there, available there. If it is not there, then it will go to the origin and it will pull it from there. So maybe the first pull takes time. First time when it load the time takes time. Whenever first time it get the content, what it will do, it will cache it at the edge location. So at least for the next request onwards for any users, if there are a million users accessing the same file, right, or video, first user it might take some time, but second user onwards it is always available. And you can ask me the same question. You can ask me the question also, how long this content will be cached? Definitely it is not permanent. So all this content will be stored on a cache location for a certain time. Mostly that is in the seconds, not on days. Okay. So there is like it has a time also there actually. That is a lifetime. That is called lifetime. The cache, whatever it is in the edge location, there is a certain lifetime. Because see, information, right? Information, the content over the internet, or that's a huge volume. So they cannot cache everything indefinitely. They will cache it, they will access it, use it, and it's after that, after that it will die. So there are two components. Yeah, we have to web distribution, typically used for the websites, and RTMP, used for the media streaming. Media streaming is, as we discussed, right, videos. So web distribution, typically used for the websites. Okay, CloudFront. Actually, there are two terminologies. Just remember that: web distribution and RTMP. Okay, we will revisit them when while we are discussing again. Same thing here. Edge location. This is the location where content will be cached. This is separated to AWS region or high availability zone, right? Availability zone. So we discussed already. Origin, content of the file, wherever the origin can be S3 bucket or EC2 or elastic load balancer or Route 53. Route 53 is a networking. We will talk about it, networking. Okay, that's why I'm not complicating now. Let's go step by step. Okay, distribution, right? This is the name given to the content delivery network, which consists of collection of edge locations, is called distribution. Then web distribution, typically used for the websites. RTMP used for the video streaming. Video streaming is for any videos, etc., torrents, etc., right? Okay, so just remember this terminology: edge location, origin, distribution, web distribution, and RTMP. Yeah, now the question is, see, we keep talking about it: accessing a video, accessing web content, accessing. I mean, it's pretty much like a reading, right? What is accessing? Accessing is nothing but sorry, reading. Read that information. But the thing is, it's not only read. Even we can write also. So, but for that one, we need to pay extra. There will be charge, for writing any content in a cache location. There are some additional features we will discuss later. It is not in this class. As I told you earlier, objects are cached for a life of the time to live. I told you, right? Time to live is in seconds actually. Whatever information is cached at the edge location, so its lifetime is in seconds. So that is time to live. Only that period only it will be cached. It won't be cached for indefinitely because information keep changing, right? So this is about the edge location, origin, and time to live. Okay. So basically, friends, whoever joined a little bit late, right? Yeah, just we are discussing about CloudFront, and content delivery network, and explain a with a diagram. So instead of accessing all the way from Australia to Europe, there is some cache points. Those are like edge locations. So edge locations, and origin is the place where we content is there. When the distribution is the place, it is like a network of edge locations. Then we discuss it actually, cache points. So when any user from Australia, you need some info. So first of all, what system does, it will search somewhere locally at the edge point. If the information is already available, it is already cached, it is available there, then it will fetch from there. If it is not there, then it will go, the request will go all the way. The request may go all the way up to Europe, because if this edge location is not available, then it will go and search in the next available edge location. Next available location. If it is not there, finally it will go all the way to origin, that is in Europe. Okay, here you can see that edge location. There are already sorry, I might confuse guys. So there is already predefined edge locations. For the people in Australia, look like there are like a certain number of edge locations. So first the system will look for there. If it is not there, then it will go there. It will go directly hit the actual origin, original origin. So it's everything depends on algorithms, how they want to do the search. But actual concept is, instead of we keep hitting the actual origin server repeatedly, what we do, we will use this cache mechanism. Okay, then yeah, the content can be like a websites, including dynamic, static, streaming. Yeah, these are all component. These are all come under this content, right? So web distribution, typically used for the websites, and RTMP used for the video streaming. We'll discuss a little bit later. Edge location, again, we discuss it. And edge locations are not only just for read only, but mostly it is like read only. But there is, people can do the write also. And the content and the cache cannot stay there forever. There is a time called time to live. So the time to live is typically in seconds. Okay, what we have learned so far, we know that, right? Edge location. This is the location where content will be cached. Distribution. This is the name given to the content delivery network. Content delivery network, which consists of collection of edge locations called distribution. Origin is the place CDN will distribute. This can be either S3 bucket, okay, elastic load balancer, Route 53. Web distribution, typically used for the websites. RTMP is for the streaming. Now the interesting thing is how you wanna control what can be viewed, what cannot be viewed, or who can view, who cannot view that. See, it is everything is on the internet. It is on the cloud. Cloud is like internet, right? So everything is available. But if you have to restrict it, right, there is a way we restrict it. See, for example, the author gave an example. So if you subscribe a online learning platform, until and unless we enter login and credentials, they won't allow us to get into the online learning platform like Udemy. To access any lessons, what we have to do, we need to use our credentials. So that's where they're restricting actually. So people can access Udemy website, but to get to the website, we need to enter the login and credentials. So there is a kind of restricting until and unless it's satisfied. The login password combination is correct combination. It won't allow the users in. And there are a couple of websites, even though the user can log in inside, but he can do certain things. And if it is a premium account or some other kind of account, right, they come with additional powers or additional features. They can do that actually. So that is called authorization. There are two concepts: authentication and authorization. Authentication is something, it will check your login and password credentials, it will let you in. That is called authentication. But once you are authenticated, what kind of power you have, what kind of authority you have, that is called authorization. Just a regular user, he can do certain things. When it is like admin, they can do pretty much everything, right? So that's what we have to decide. So this is about premium sites. I tell you, right? There are premium sites, there's are regular sites. Regular site allow only certain things. So this is all can be restricted using this content delivery network. So the content access also we can control it actually. Who can access what? So CloudFront signal URLs or signal cookies. So one side, sorry, one signed URL is for individual files. One file is one URL. Sorry, one signed cookie is for multiple files. That is called one cookie. So I told you guys, forget about all of them. So we have been talking about cache. So obviously, cookies involved there, right? And giving permission to the user to access certain files, obviously there is a URL. So that's what he has been talking about it. So one file, one URL. URL is like our web page URL. Access the URL, give your credentials, get into the website and access it and do it. So that is URL, right? So not like that. You want to access multiple content. multiple content. So that is called, we pretty much we use this cookie mechanism, actually, cache mechanism. We will discuss a little bit more. When we created a signed URL or signed cookie, we attach a copy of policy. Policy explains, actually. See, system is like so dumb. It will only allow, it only does whatever we allow, whatever we ask us to do it, right? It's not a human. It does not have any brain. Just whatever rules we define, we will tell them. We can tell them, hey, system, if anybody log in your application who is not a user, but regular user, but who is an admin, allow him to do certain acts. If he's a regular user, just allow him to do certain things. So these are all rules, the rule based. Earlier we discussed it, if you remember, in S3 bucket, while we are discussing S3 bucket, how we write the rules. Can you tell me which language we use to write these rules? Or which format we use to write all these rules, which are easily understandable? And not Josephine sister, not you. I know, but other than that, other than any one of you guys. So we have all the rules, policies. Policies are nothing but a set of rules, right? So we write these rules in a document, and we will use that document as a configuration. That's how system knows that what can be done, what can be done, or what should not be done. It knows that. So for example, if I log in, if I'm like a regular user, do certain acts. If he is like a user or developer, it may be next level, right? Developer can do certain things. The super user is like a admin. Admin can do certain things. So how the system knows the difference between user, what user can do, or what a developer can do, what a admin can do. So there is everything is like rule based things, actually. So we put all these rules into something called policy. Generally, can any one of you guys tell, other than Josephine sister, in which format we write these policies? Okay, I give you okay, 3 names. You tell me: XML format, or a JSON format, or plain text format. Other than Joseph and sister, any one of you guys: XML format, or a JSON format, or plain text format. Yeah, you can even text in the chat also. Yeah, if you are comfortable there. JSON, yeah, that is correct. Correct, Grace. Yeah, JSON format, right? Last time we discussed about it. JSON is like a key and value. It's a pretty straightforward, plain English. And yeah, so that's how. So the policies include URL expiration, IP ranges, trusted, signers, right? So this is all we are talking about it. Restricted access. Restricted access mean, so we have to give a URL and IP range and a trusted signers. Only trusted people, only certain number of people are allowed to access that. Not like everybody on the street, because that's why we are restricting, right? Yeah. So how signed URL work? See, for example, client, we access one applications like Udemy or something. We log into the Udemy, then we enter our credentials. So what happened? So it will go and it will hit a close by CloudFront edge location, because the content, see, after our successful location, so it will go and try a edge location instead of the lessons, whatever we are trying to access it. For example, we are in US and the content is somewhere in China. So instead of it go all the way to China, what it will do, the request, it will search locally if there is any edge location. So it will ask the edge location, is it available with you? If it is available, the request doesn't have to travel all the way to China, right? So the request will go to edge location. If it find it, it will return the client location. If it is not, then it will go to the actual origin, S3. You see, S3 bucket is like an origin. So client log into the application, it will first try the edge location. If it gets, it will get it. If not, it will go all the way to the origin, S3 bucket. In that case, you can see there is a, if you see that, right, there is a cache, what is that? Understanding between these two components. First time you need it, you go and hit the S3 bucket. But once you get the info, you cache it. So next time onwards, when the client needs something, it can be immediately catered from a edge location. It doesn't have to go all the way to the origin. Okay. Yeah. So this is pretty much about, I will share these slides also. You guys also do a little research on it. And there are tons of videos on the YouTube. You don't have to buy anything. So there are a lot of videos. Just it is like CloudFront. So another better way to understand CloudFront is you search for any architecture diagram, CloudFront architecture diagram. If you search by CloudFront architecture diagram, you will immediately get it. See, at the end of our class, what I will do, maybe once we progress at a decent level, I have a 30-45 minutes video, YouTube video. So I will share with you guys. So that is really good. That will give you an overall picture of Amazon Web Services. That's pretty good actually. If you want to crack any interviews, so instead of going through all the services, etc., right? It takes a lot of time, right? So that will give you an overall picture actually. That is very cool. Yeah, maybe after 1 or 2 classes, I will play that small video in our class, and I will explain also what he's talking about it. See, at this level, just try to grasp cloud concepts, because cloud is like a pretty much it's a new norm, right? So every application, everybody is talking about cloud. So whatever job you apply, that's great. Based on your passion, go for it. But whatever job you go for, that they talk about cloud. So just we cannot take, we it's like very normal, right? So that is expected. You should be having some cloud knowledge. But if you're interested in the cloud, you want to go in this path, that is a different story. We can talk about it. Okay, next there is another concept called snowball. Snowball sounds very interesting, right? Snowball. So, but if you see this device, it is pretty much, you can tell it. It's like a hard drive kind of thing. Amazon hard drive kind of thing, right? That is called a snowball. But let us discuss it actually. There is a video. I might, yeah, I might able to show that, but we will see. Yeah, snowball is a petabyte. We are not talking about megabyte, gigabyte, terabyte, right? We are talking about petabyte of scale data transportation solution that used to secure application transfer from location to another location. There is one example I tell you. If from my physical data center, right? Companies, they have their own setup, servers, etc. From their physical data center to, if anybody is trying to do the cloud migration, but there is a lot of huge volume of data, right? Cloud, everything is all over the internet. But if you keep bombarding internet with petabytes of data, right, it will take forever. Depends on the internet speed. I have a map also here, internet speed. So what will happen if there is a edge location close by, or there is a data center, Amazon web data center is close by? So what you can do, you can transfer your data physically. You can transfer your data, and you can upload there. You can take it from your data center in the center of Atlanta. Maybe if you see Amazon web server, Amazon data center, Amazon web data center is somewhere close to Charlotte. So just you can transport all those data instead of relying on the internet, and you're uploading all the information and assuming that it will be there. It will take a lot of time. So, and sometimes there is a security concerns also. See, cloud is a beautiful concept. In the meantime, people need to be really careful too, because cloud, it's not only you are not only the person using the cloud. There are a lot of people using the cloud, but anything happen, there can be security breaches, anything. There is a lot of possibility, right? So that's why companies with very secure payment card information or healthcare information, what they will do, most of those companies, they maintain the hybrid model. So they maintain most of their applications on the cloud, great. But some core components which are really core to their business are very secure. They maintain them on their local server, on their local data centers. What will happen if they someday, if they have to transfer any data from their local data center to Amazon Web Services or Amazon server, right? So obviously this will be, snowball will be like a really handy, because what they do, snowball acts like a small data center. So whatever information, whatever applications you want to load them, you load them, and you go and dump them there. So snowball is pretty much like a briefcase. You think about it, you take whatever want to take it from one place A to place B. Place A can be your data center. Place B is like Amazon data center. So instead of you rely on a mediator called internet, right? So because we are talking about a terabytes, we're talking about it petabytes information. Okay. Then snowball comes in either, there are different flavors. There is like a 50 terabyte, there is like 80 terabyte, and it comes with built-in encryption, industry standard, trusted platform, because Amazon is guaranteeing that, Amazon is maintaining them. So that's why Amazon by default, they come with a lot of security features, because Amazon is the guarantor. And if you go further, there is another called snowball edge. Snowball edge. Snowball comes with 50 terabyte and 80 terabyte, but there is a snowball edge. It comes with 100 terabyte transfer. Yeah, you can use a snowball edge to move larger amount of data into out of AWS as a temporary storage tier for large local data sets or support local workload in remote or offline location. As I told you, right, you can use a snowball edge to move large amount of data into in and out of AWS. AWS is one location, physical location. I'm talking about it, not logical location. And in the meantime, your information is from in your data center. So transfer between these two locations, it can be handy. I will show you a video. Just okay. The last thing you might laugh at it. And even there is something called snow mobile, not snowball. There is something called snow mobile. This is like exabyte of scale data information service used to move extremely large amount of data to AWS. You can transfer up to 100 petabytes per snowball mobile. This is almost like a container worth of information. It is almost like a small data center. You are moving from small data center from one location to another location. So friends, you think about it actually. I'm talking about physical location, physical data location in your company, but a Amazon Web Services location, some location. So until and unless you transfer everything to the Amazon, so that won't be available on the cloud. There are two ways we can do that. Either you can rely on the internet and you can start uploading that information, but it will take forever because considering this volume and security concerns. That's why what you do, you physically go and you can deliver that to Amazon. Amazon will take care of it. And once you deliver the product, what they will do, Amazon, whatever this is snowball or snow mobile, snowball edge, whatever it is, right? Amazon takes care of it and it will clean it up. You don't worry about security breaches because Amazon guarantees that. So that is called snowball. Just know the concept actually. See, here it is. If you want to use the internet, if you want to transfer like a 10 terabytes of information, almost like 80%, it takes like 269 days. So shall we rely on our internet and keep uploading? Make sure that internet connection is stable. There is no interruptions. Sometimes file transfers halt. So then again we have to do it. So if it is like if the internet speed is high, it can take 120 days. If the internet speed is like super good, then it takes like 12 days. But the same thing, if the data center, I know that the data center is in Charlotte, I know that I have to transfer the data, it takes like 12 days. I rather prefer to go and do it a half day, right? You agree with me? So that's why the physical data transfer, it will facilitate. Which one? Snowball. Snowball allow us to do the physical transfer. It's like a briefcase. It comes with physical transfer. But if the content is high, content is more, then even you can use this extra bit of, snow mobile also. We can do that. So uploads, downloads, you remember, right? Internet, everything depends on the internet speed. If the internet is slow, it will take forever. So yeah, understand what snowball is. This is what we understood so far, right? Snowball can import to S3. Yeah, snowball can do that. Snowball imports to S3, export to S3. I told you, right? So S3 is S3 bucket, right? S3 bucket, Amazon S3 bucket. That's what it can do. It can import, it can export. So instead of relying on the internet, we do physically using this snowball. So let me see if I can show you video. Yeah, just I'm bringing up. Okay, let me share it. Can you see my screen? Yeah, Cloud Guru. Can you see the screen? Yeah, you can see that actually snowball demo. Good. But I'm okay thinking about audio, how to get it. But let us see how it work actually. You cannot hear the audio, right? Audio, it's not audible, right? Just you can see the content there, right? Or can you hear the audio also? Okay. New share, let us see. Give me 1 second. Pause recording, reactions disabled. Yeah, share sound also. Yeah, you should be able to do that.
Connect to my snowball, and then what we'll do,
heavy it is. This is not a snowball edge, it's just
go ahead and install it on my Mac, and then what we'll do is we'll look at the snowball, see what it looks like, and how we can plug it in.
Okay, so here we are. We've got our snowball. It has finally arrived. Like I said, this is not a snowball edge, it's just a standard snowball. It is very big. It's very heavy as well, actually. I was surprised how heavy it is. I got quite out of breath just taking it upstairs. So let's have a look at what each individual component does. Okay, so this is the front of the snowball, and you can see we've got this little thing just down here. It's like a little handle that we've got to open up. It says open this panel first, flip it to lie on top of the case. And you can see my snowball has been damaged by somebody else. AWS, if you're watching this, that's how it arrived. So what I'm going to do is just go ahead and open this panel and flip it back up onto the top of the case. And so all we do is we push in this little button here, push this up, and that opens up the top of the case. And then you can see in here, this is our Kindle that we're going to use in order to access our snowball. Next thing we need to do is just turn it around. We've got to open up this panel on the back. We just click in this button, push it up, and in here we can see at the very top you've got the power cables and the Ethernet cables, etc. And so here's our power cables and our Ethernet cables. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to unwind all of this. I'm going to plug in the power, and then I'm going to plug the Ethernet cable into my router or router, whatever, however you wanted to pronounce it, whether you're Australian or American, downstairs. And then what I'm going to do is fire up the Snowball client. One thing to note is that the Snowball doesn't come with its own power lead. You do need your own adapter. It's just a standard kettle plug though, so we're just going to plug that in now. Okay, so everything's plugged in. And all we need to do now is go down here, and down just above the Kindle you can see there's a power button. So I'm just going to turn that on. And boom! It's quite noisy. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to go back over to my PC, and I'm going to go ahead and install the command line tools, and I'll show you how to do that.
Okay, and it actually took a little bit of time for my Snowball to be ready, but once it is ready, you'll see this ready screen, and you can see I'm using RJ45 or standard Ethernet in order to connect in, but you can also use SFP, and you can use copper or optical fiber as well. Okay, so now we've installed the Snowball command line tools, but in order to use it, we actually need to get our credentials. So we need to go into our...
Okay, let's stop it here. Yeah, so that's what pretty much like, Snowball. So he is connecting and transferring all the data. And once he transfer the data, then he can upload to any S3, S3 bucket. Yeah. Actually, there is another way also we can think about it. He does not have to take you to any Amazon physical locations, but once he copied the data to the Snowball itself is already Amazon property. So it's already on the Amazon server, right? Amazon kind of Amazon, it's like a mini data center. So it is already on the Amazon. So transfer between Snowball to any S3 bucket is faster than transferring between a private data center to S3 bucket directly. As it is a physical device, we can directly take it to the data center of individual private data centers, and we can upload the information. And once it is uploaded here, then we can use it, upload it to S3 bucket using internet, or if it is easy, convenient, to any close by data center, Amazon data center, we can do that. Yeah, that is a snowball. Yeah. So exam, actually, they might ask like a question, I mean, if you give like AWS cloud practitioner or solution architect associate, you get like a one or two question, one question maybe at most. Actually, snowball. What is it? What is the purpose of the snowball? It's a very small concept actually, but CDN, there are questions. There may be like one or two questions on the CDN, content delivery network. Yeah. So that's what I thought of touch base with you guys on these two topics today.